Have you ever stopped and really asked yourself why most businesses never make serious money? If you look at the numbers, it's wild. Very few businesses even hit $100,000 a year in revenue, while an even smaller group crosses $1 million a year. Fewer still ever see $10 million, and almost none touch $50, $100 million and beyond. And a lot of people think, well, of course, the higher the revenue, the harder it must be to get there. But here's the twist. In business, the bigger the number gets, the easier it actually becomes to produce that revenue if you know what you're doing. So today I'm going to walk you through business skills that can make you millions. A little while back, I did a teaching on personal skills that create millions. That was about who you become. This one is about business skills, the skills that turn your business into a money-making machine. As we go through these, imagine I'm writing them on a board in front of you. You should take notes, but more important than note-taking is action-taking. If you apply what I'm about to show you, it won't just inform you, it will transform your life. Let's go. Skill number 1, product innovation. The first business skill is what I call product innovation. Notice I didn't just say innovation in general. I said product innovation. Why? Because at the highest level, there are really only two kinds of businesses. Businesses that sell a service, businesses that sell a product. If you start a business built strictly on services, you've already capped the wealth you can create. Why? Because services are tied to time, and your time is limited. Every service you deliver requires your time, your attention, your energy. Time is a finite resource. You can't scale it infinitely. If you want real wealth from business, you have to find a way to disconnect your income from your hours. That's why I focus on products. Service versus product example. Let's say I run a house painting business. I can paint, say, 3 houses a week, and I charge $9,000 per house. Maximum, 3 houses, $9,000, $27,000 per week. Now, $27,000 a week might sound like a big number if you're used to making $700 or $2,700 a week. But once that income comes with payroll, materials, insurance, overhead, taxes, and zero free time, suddenly $27,000 a week doesn't feel nearly as big as it sounds. So what would I rather do? I'd rather sell a product. Let's say instead of painting houses, I sell a book. Not that this looks like a book, but you get the idea. If I sell a book for $30, here's the magic. It doesn't take me any longer to sell 100 copies than it does to sell 1 copy. My biggest single book deal ever? Back in 2008, we sold a company 100,000 copies of my book, From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. The entire transaction took about 15 minutes and generated around $400,000 in revenue. 15 minutes, $400,000. That's the power of a product. Products let you separate revenue from time, and that's when money starts to multiply. What kind of product? But here's the key. When you innovate a product, you don't create something you think is cool. You create something the market values. You need to build a product the marketplace has an appetite for, even if the market doesn't yet know how to ask for it. Some people think product creation starts with surveys, questionnaires, feasibility studies, market research panels, and those things have their place. Call it a feasibility study or market survey if you want. But personally, we don't start by asking people what product they want. We observe their pain, their frustrations, the pleasures they're seeking but can't find, the gaps no one is filling. Then we create products that fill those gaps. 3 qualities. Every product must have. Any product you innovate should have at least 3 core characteristics: desirable, measurable, statable, clear in a simple soundbite. 1. Desirable. Here's where most beginners get stuck. They think desirable means, I really want to create this thing, so surely people will want to buy it. Wrong. That's not desirability. That's self-indulgence. We might have a consolation prize for that mindset in the back, but it's not called wealth. Desirable means, You are creating something the market badly wants, not something you wish they wanted. For example, I want to write a book about my life story. Let me help you out. Nobody cares. No one is waking up thinking, I hope a stranger tells me their entire life story in 300 pages. The only people who might buy that book, your mom, maybe your cousin, and your mom isn't buying it because she wants to relive that chaos. Well, she's buying it to support you, not because she enjoys the trauma rerun. So don't write a book about you. Write a book that solves a problem the marketplace is already feeling. Desirability means the marketplace wants it, whether or not it flatters your ego. Linear 2. Where does value come from? People talk about adding value all the time, but almost no one explains what creates value in the minds of customers. Let me show you 3 big sources of perceived value. I want you to say out loud, I'm ready, because this alone can make you a lot of money. A. Past perceived voids. Present pursued values. If someone grew up without something they deeply wanted, when they finally have money as an adult, the first thing they often do is fill that old void. Because what we lacked in the past, we value intensely in the present. So if you can find a large group of people who all experienced a similar lack in their past, and you create a product that fills that void, you can get very rich very fast. That's past perceived voids turning into present pursued values. B. Present perceived virtues, present pursued values. This is when people see something as good right now, so they chase it right now. Example. There's a restaurant with good food that's almost never full. Right across the street, another restaurant charges $75, $125 a plate, and it's always packed. Why? Because people perceive that second place as exclusive, high quality, worth it. Present perceived virtue drives present pursued value. If people think what you offer is really, really good, they will literally line up out the door, around the building, cash in hand, ready to pay. C. Future pursued visions. Think about how many hundreds of billions of dollars get poured into college education every single year. Why? Because students are buying a vision. If I get this degree, I'll land a job that pays enough to clear these loans and give me the life I dream about. That's a future pursued vision. The problem? For many, that vision doesn't play out the way they were sold. So now they have a degree on the wall, a mountain of debt, and a job at a restaurant just to service those student loans. That's real life. Still, people are willing to spend massive money today because of how strongly they believe in that future picture. So, past perceived voids, present perceived virtues, future pursued visions. These 3 dynamics create value and make your offer desirable in the marketplace. 3. Measurable. Next, your product must be measurable. This is where so many business owners lose people. You ask them, what do you do? And they give you 5 minutes of buzzwords, jargon, word salad. And at the end, you still have no idea what they actually do. Bro, I don't even know what you just said. Measurable means when someone buys your product, there is a clear before and clear after, and the difference between the two is obvious. The outcome you promise should have a clear starting point, a clear ending point, and a big gap in between. The bigger the gap between where they start and where they end up, the more you can ethically charge. The bigger the measurable transformation, the higher the perceived value. 4. Statable, soundbite clarity. Finally, your offer needs to be statable, preferably in a single sentence. Statable means you can explain what you do simply, clearly, and fast. If you can't explain your offer in a sentence a 12-year-old can understand, well, you probably don't understand it well enough yourself. Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Same thing here. I even did a whole teaching on this called Think Like a Genius, Talk Like a Third Grader, because that's how powerful simple language is. So, desirable, measurable, statable. That's product innovation skill number 1. Skill number 2, revenue generation. Once you've developed the skill of innovating powerful products, the next major business skill is revenue generation. This is where a lot of people struggle, even though it's actually one of the simplest areas once you develop the right mindset and skills. First, let's clear up a big emotional block: selling versus buying. Plenty of people will tell you, "I hate selling." Here's the conclusion I came to a long time ago. There's only one alternative to selling, and that's buying. When you're the one buying, you are the one giving money away. When you're the one selling, people are giving you money. So if you say, "I hate selling," what you're really saying is, "I love giving money away and I hate receiving it." It is impossible to get rich with that mindset. I love to buy. I enjoy spending money. But I also love to sell. I like it going both ways. One key that'll make you better at revenue generation: become a better buyer. Why? Because everything reproduces after its own kind. If you walk into a shoe store, the salesperson comes up and says, "Hey, can I help you with anything today?" And you automatically respond with, "No, I'm just looking." Then you may never be great at selling, because you don't want to be treated the way you treat salespeople. You see selling as something inherently negative, and that energy blocks you from attracting great buyers. That little shift alone just helps somebody. Revenue generation includes promotion, marketing, selling. Let's break those down. A. Promotion. Promotion is how you get attention. Promotion happens in 2 main ways: advertising, branding. Advertising. Advertising is when you pay someone who already has an audience to put your message in front of that audience. You're renting their platform, their viewers, their listeners, their readers, so they can redirect attention toward you. If you're going to spend money on ads, please hear me. Don't just do brand awareness campaigns. Don't just pay for name recognition. Instead, focus on direct response advertising. Direct response means the purpose of the ad is to trigger a specific, immediate action. Ideally, they click, they opt in, or best of all, they buy something. And ideally, what they buy is structured as a self-liquidating offer, SLO. The revenue from the offer covers the cost of the ad. If you can just break even acquiring customers, you can scale to massive levels, because the purpose of the first sale is not to make profit. The purpose of the first sale is to acquire a customer. Most beginners think the point of selling is to make money right now. Wrong. The primary objective of a sale is to gain a customer, not to grab cash, because customers buy again. Customers buy more. Customers refer others. That's where real profit lives. Look at Apple. Many of you have an iPhone, also have an iPad, maybe a MacBook, maybe AirPods, maybe an Apple Watch. Apple doesn't primarily see themselves as in the business of selling phones, tablets, laptops, watches. They're in the business of acquiring customers and then serving them repeatedly. Once they win your trust, they can offer you almost anything in their ecosystem, and you'll buy it. That's the power of focusing on customer acquisition, not just one-off profit. Branding. Now, advertising is a short-tail strategy. You can run ads today, and if your ad and offer are solid, you can see money today. Branding is different. Branding is a long-tail strategy, but the long tail is the strong tail. Your brand is not just your logo. A brand is a name that instantly brings a story to mind. Say that again to yourself. A brand is a name that reminds me of a story. And if the story associated with that name is powerful and positive, people will happily pay to see themselves inside that story. That's why real estate agents drive certain cars. People wear certain shoes. People buy certain bags. They're not just buying utility, they're buying identity and story. A realtor might drive a Mercedes, not because they don't care about money, but because that brand elevates perceived success, signals to clients that I'm already winning. makes the client feel more secure working with them. Same with Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Louis Vuitton, Air Jordan. They're all names attached to stories. People don't buy Jordans because they think they'll suddenly dunk like Michael did in the 80s. They buy them because of the status and story attached to that name. Even scripture says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Why? Because a name holds a story, and that story creates value and opportunity. So one of your major business objectives, build a personal brand. Create a name such that when people hear it, they think, that's the person who helps people do X, and they're the best in the world at Y. I used to think that when people talked about branding, it's because they didn't know how to sell. That was immature thinking. I was wrong. Brand and sales together create serious leverage. Fulfillment, keeping your promises. Now here's the part most people ignore when they think about promotion. Fulfillment. Promotion doesn't end when someone buys. Promotion continues through delivery. Every time you sell something and don't deliver what you promised, you are rewriting your brand story, sabotaging your reputation, training people not to trust you. You are becoming known as the person who takes money and doesn't keep their word. So fulfilling on your promises is not just operations. It's one of the most important parts of your promotion engine. B, marketing. Next part of revenue generation, marketing. Most people confuse marketing with advertising. They think marketing is posting info about their company, announcing what they do, talking about features, logos, and slogans. I see marketing differently. Marketing is not primarily about giving out information. Marketing is about gathering information. Here's my definition. Marketing is the art and science of discovering and developing in other people a desire for more and more of your product, service, or opportunity. Marketing happens when I offer you a free checklist, give you a valuable resource, and in exchange, you give me your name, email, maybe phone number. Now I've done good marketing because I've gained control over the next point of contact. That's the magic. With branding or advertising alone, you don't necessarily control when you'll show up in front of that person again. With marketing done right, you build an email list, you build a customer database, you grow an owned audience. Now, instead of paying an advertiser repeatedly to reach people, you can reach them directly anytime. Send one email to a warm list you've built, and you can generate revenue without spending new ad dollars. That's the power of marketing. C, selling. The last piece under revenue generation is selling. Most people are not great at selling, not because they're bad people, but because no one ever taught them properly. Here's my definition. Selling is uncovering the value of what you have to offer so clearly that people are happy to exchange their money for the value you reveal. Notice what I did not say. Selling is not explaining your product in detail. Selling is not walking them through every step of your process. In fact, that's where many people talk themselves out of the sale. They spend all their time describing the product, breaking down the process, listing every tiny feature, and guess what? Nobody cares. Worse, when you break down all the steps, your prospect thinks, wow, that sounds hard. I don't think I can do all that. And they mentally exit the conversation. Imagine joining a gym and having the trainer say, here's what we're going to do. You're going to run until your legs feel like they're going to fall off. Then you're going to lift weights until your arms are sore for months. Your back will hurt. You'll wake up every day wishing someone would put you out of your misery. And that's just for the first 3 months. Who's signing up for that? You'd be like, you know what? I think I'll just stay out of shape. So don't sell the process. The process is what convinces people not to buy. Instead, sell the payoff. Sell them what they want, what they will feel, what life looks like after the transformation, then quietly deliver what they need on the back end. Don't sell your product pieces, your internal systems, your personal time. You get 70,000 hours of me for only $150 per hour. People don't want your time. They want their life to change. They're only looking for one thing: transformation. Right now, something in their life is painful. They want that pain turned into pleasure. That's what they're paying for. So talk about how their bank account will feel different, how their stress level will shift, how their health, body, relationships, or business will transform. Example: every time you look at your checking account right now, it looks back at you with attitude. You want that account smiling at you, not yelling at you. I'm going to show you how to make that happen. Or, right now, every time you step on the scale, it snitches on you. I'm going to help you get in such good shape that if the scale could clap, it would. We know scales don't clap. But the image creates a feeling, and feelings move buyers. Or, if you're a book writing coach, don't sell coaching hours. Sell the outcome. You're going to finish a book that sells 500 copies a month at $20 each. That's $10,000 a month in front-end revenue. Then I'll show you how to add back-end offers that match or double that. All because you finally wrote the right book the right way. That's selling payoff, not process. Skill number 3, asset allocation. We've covered eating product innovation, revenue generation. Now let's talk about the third business skill, asset allocation. This is about how you structure and manage the money your business generates. At a basic level, asset allocation includes pricing, payment processing, payment collecting. Pricing. First, how much do you charge? I'd say 90% of entrepreneurs I coach get pricing wrong. Why? Because they look at someone they think is their competition and copy their prices. Here's the problem with that. You don't know their cost structure. You don't know their goals. You don't know whether they're even profitable. That's why I say, I don't have competitors. I simply charge more than everyone who thinks they're competing with me. I refuse to make the mistake of lowering my value by comparing myself to others. B, payment processing. Next, how do you accept money? In the beginning, your goal should be, make it as easy as possible for people to pay you. And yet, some small businesses don't accept credit cards, don't offer payment plans, don't have any automation. Are you allergic to money? Most people pay for almost everything with credit cards, digital processors, bank transfers. You need to make paying you frictionless. So set up a merchant account, Stripe, MI, or another provider. Systems for recurring charges or automated payments. That way, clients don't have to remember every month, send manual transfers, constantly think about invoices. Now, personal preference. I don't like getting paid via PayPal. If somebody wants to pay me using PayPal, they can go pay somebody else. Why? Because in my experience, PayPal is not my pal. I've seen too many accounts frozen, too many funds held, and too much nonsense. So I don't use it as my primary processor. You don't want your entire business running through a platform that can pull the plug on your cash flow at any moment. Every payment processor has a risk management department. Often it's somebody making $15 an hour deciding, this much revenue looks suspicious. They don't understand businesses doing $700,000 a month. So they assume you must be scamming people and suddenly your money is on hold. Plus, some people are just dishonest. They'll buy your program, use your material, and then file a chargeback saying they never got what they paid for. So in my business, I've put certain boundaries. Maximum I'll allow on a credit card, $2,000. Anything above that, wire transfer or ACH. You want to protect your revenue and control your risk. C, payment collecting, financing terms. Lastly, we have payment collecting. This is especially relevant when you sell higher ticket products or programs, offer internal financing or payment plans. For example, in a $55,000 coaching program, we might let someone pay half down, then draft weekly payments. For example, $510/week. But here's my rule. I never let payment terms outlive the delivery period. I don't want someone still paying for something long after they stop receiving it. So if your program is, say, 12 months long, then your payment plan shouldn't be 36 months. Be wise about how you structure down payments, frequency of drafts, duration of the plan. It protects you and your clients. Final thoughts. When you master these 3 business skills, product innovation, revenue generation, asset allocation, you put yourself in position to create millions upon millions in your business. These aren't theories. These are practical, proven frameworks. So, study them, take notes, but most importantly, take action, because information alone doesn't change your life. It's applied information that does. Stay focused, stay intentional, and keep building. You are closer to that next level than you think. I hope this helped you. Stay blessed, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.